The stadium went quiet in a way that felt almost unnatural. In a venue built for noise, energy, and spectacle, tens of thousands of fans suddenly held their breath as Bruno Mars sat alone at the piano. What followed wasn't just a performance, it was a moment that left many wondering if they had just witnessed something deeply personal unfold in real time. During a recent stop of the romantic tour at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, Bruno Mars delivered a stripped-down rendition of his hit song When I Was Your Man that has since sparked widespread conversation across social media. Fans in attendance, and millions more watching viral clips online, began speculating that the emotional weight behind the performance may have been tied to a more intimate source, his late mother, Bernadette San Pedro Bay-O. The performance itself was deceptively simple. No backup dancers. No elaborate visuals. Just Bruno Mars, a piano, and a spotlight. Yet the simplicity amplified every nuance, the pauses between lyrics, the subtle tremble in his voice, the way he seemed to linger on certain lines longer than usual. It was enough to make even longtime fans feel like something had shifted. Bruno Mars has never publicly confirmed that this particular performance was dedicated to his mother. However, the context surrounding his life and career adds weight to the speculation. Since her passing in 2013, he has occasionally spoken about her profound influence on his artistry and his life. Those who have followed his journey closely know that his music often carries layers of meaning beneath its polished surface. In recent months, Bruno Mars has been enjoying a renewed wave of success. Following the continued popularity of his work with Anderson .Paak as part of Silk Sonic, and a string of sold-out shows on the romantic tour, he remains one of the most consistent live performers in modern pop music. His ability to blend nostalgia with contemporary appeal has kept him firmly at the center of the industry, even as musical trends shift rapidly. Music critics often point to Bruno Mars as a rare artist who bridges generational gaps. His sound draws from classic soul, funk, and R&B, yet feels accessible to a younger audience raised on streaming-era pop. This duality has allowed him to maintain both commercial success and critical acclaim, an increasingly rare balance in today's music landscape. Bruno is one of the last true showmen, said a Los Angeles-based music producer familiar with his touring work. But what people sometimes overlook is how controlled and intentional he is emotionally. If he lets something show on stage, even just a little, it's usually because it matters. That insight resonates strongly when examining the Glendale performance. Unlike the high-energy numbers that typically define his concerts, When I Was Your Man has always been a vulnerable centerpiece in his setlist. Still, fans noticed something different this time. The tempo felt slower. The delivery, heavier. And perhaps most strikingly, Bruno Mars appeared to momentarily lose himself in the song. For many in the audience, the experience blurred the line between entertainment and intimacy. Videos posted online captured moments where the crowd began singing along, only to gradually quiet down, as if collectively recognizing the gravity of what they were witnessing. It's a rare phenomenon in stadium concerts, where scale often diminishes emotional connection. Here, the opposite happened. The speculation surrounding his late mother adds another layer to the narrative. Bernadette San Pedro Bay-O was not just a parent, she was instrumental in shaping his early musical identity. A performer herself, she introduced him to a wide range of genres and encouraged his talents from a young age. Her influence can be traced throughout his discography, from his melodic sensibilities to his deep respect for classic sounds. While When I Was Your Man was originally written as a romantic ballad about regret and lost love, its themes are universal enough to transcend that context. Loss, reflection, and longing are emotions that can apply to many forms of relationships. In live settings, especially ones charged with personal history, songs often take on new meanings, for both the artist and the audience. A music critic from a major U.S. publication noted, "What makes Bruno Mars compelling isn't just his vocal ability or stage presence. It's his restraint. He doesn't over-explain his emotions. He lets the performance speak, and that invites interpretation. That's why moments like this resonate so deeply." This approach aligns with a broader trend in modern pop culture, where authenticity is increasingly valued over perfection. Audiences are drawn to artists who reveal glimpses of their humanity, even if those glimpses are fleeting. In that sense, Bruno Mars's Glendale performance may have tapped into something larger than a single song. It reflected a shift in how live music is experienced and remembered. Beyond the emotional impact, the moment also reinforces Bruno Mars's enduring influence on the music industry. In an era dominated by viral hits and short-form content, he continues to prioritize live performance as a central pillar of his artistry. His concerts are not just showcases of his catalog, they are carefully crafted experiences that balance spectacle with sincerity. This balance has helped him remain relevant across multiple phases of his career. From his early chart-topping hits to his more recent collaborations and tours, Bruno Mars has consistently adapted without losing his core identity. That adaptability is a key reason why his name continues to carry weight in both commercial and critical circles. The Glendale performance also highlights the evolving role of fan interpretation in shaping an artist's narrative. In the age of social media, moments like these are no longer confined to those in attendance. They are dissected, shared, and reinterpreted by a global audience within hours. This collective analysis can amplify the emotional significance of a performance, sometimes even beyond the artist's original intent, yet, there is something uniquely powerful about the ambiguity. By not confirming or denying the speculation, Bruno Mars allows the moment to exist in a space that feels personal yet universal. Fans can project their own experiences onto it, creating a connection that extends beyond the music itself. As the romantic tour continues, it's likely that this performance will remain one of its most talked about highlights. Not because of elaborate staging or unexpected surprises, but because of its simplicity and emotional depth. In a career filled with polished hits and high-energy shows, it stands out as a reminder of the vulnerability that underpins even the most carefully constructed performances. Looking ahead, Bruno Mars shows no signs of slowing down. With ongoing projects, potential new music, and a global fan base that continues to grow, his position in the industry appears as strong as ever. However, moments like the one in Glendale suggest that his legacy may ultimately be defined not just by his success, but by his ability to create genuine emotional connections on a massive scale. In the end, whether or not the performance was intended as a tribute to his mother may be less important than how it was received. For those who witnessed it, either in person or through a screen, it felt real. And in today's entertainment landscape, that kind of authenticity is perhaps the most powerful statement an artist can make. That authenticity continues to shape how Bruno Mars is perceived not just as a performer, but as a storyteller navigating the intersection of fame and personal memory. Industry insiders suggest that this emotional transparency, however subtle, may influence the direction of his future work. There has been growing speculation that Bruno Mars could lean further into more introspective material, blending his signature retro sound with deeper, more reflective themes. At the same time, his ability to maintain privacy while still connecting with audiences remains a defining strength. Unlike many artists who openly narrate their personal lives, Bruno Mars often communicates through performance rather than direct explanation. This approach creates moments that feel organic rather than staged, allowing fans to interpret meaning without being guided toward a single narrative. As conversations around the Glendale performance continue, one thing is clear: Bruno Mars has once again reminded the world why he remains a central figure in modern music. Not just because of his voice or showmanship, but because of his capacity to make a stadium feel intimate. And in doing so, he proves that even at the height of global fame, the most powerful moments are often the quietest ones.